the reason why I wrote these comparables and these comparisons live on the site is for you to look beyond the marketing and look beyond all the hype and actually think about how you want to use the sauna, why you want to use the sauna, and what you want to do inside the sauna. And then think about the different features and things that are available to you on these different brands. I bought a sauna for my home and I've been working with Clearlight ever since. So I've been with them now for about 15 years. Obviously, I'm brand loyal, but again, I think it's important when you're shopping saunas in general that you just understand what you're buying. I should also mention too, shout out to my husband, Mark. When we first met, he was struggling with high blood pressure, weight issues, alcoholism. And once he started using the sauna, it completely changed his life as well. So fast forward over a decade now, minus 45 pounds, normal blood pressure. He's sober now and has been for many years. Are you struggling with low energy, weight gain, hormonal imbalances, or heavy metal and mold toxicity? Do you want to learn more about anti-aging tips and creating more longevity in your life? Well, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Jen Heller, a wellness educator, infrared sauna expert, and home health consultant. In this podcast, Homes That Heal, I will teach you how to transform your home into a health and wellness sanctuary. Your health is your wealth, and I believe that your home should be your sanctuary space, loaded with the tools you need to thrive in your life, not just survive. If you want to feel fantastic and transform your life and home, grab a pen, let's dive in and create a home that heals. Hey friends, Jen here. Thanks for tuning in and welcome back to Homes That Heal. Today we're going to go through a few hot topics in and around saunas and sauna questions. So if you're shopping for a sauna or just curious how they can improve your health and well-being, hop on over to my site, jenhellerlifestyle.com. The infrared sauna page is loaded with information on both the saunas and accessories. There are pictures, spec sheets, videos, articles over in the blog section as well on the many detoxifying benefits, plus how you can use your infrared sauna in your home for your health and healing goals. Also, just a reminder, the Jen Recommends page, which has home health connections and books, that's pretty much your free personal resource guide. I put that together. That is not only just a ton of information about the saunas, like the towels, the cleaners, aromatherapy oils, all the goods that I use for my sauna routine, but it's also loaded with some other home and health and connections and my favorite books. A lot of people ask me what's in my home, what do I use? It's all there on the Jen Recommends page. So that's at jenhellerlifestyle.com. Okay, so let's dive into the 3 questions for this week. Question numero uno. How hard is it to set up a sauna? Great question. People want to know this all the time because they want to get one, but they're a little intimidated by the setup or the size or how does it work? How do you get it in your home? So I'm going to kind of walk through this from start to finish. So essentially, the sauna is delivered in 3 flat pack boxes. Imagine like 3 oversized pizza boxes. They're on a pallet, totally wrapped in plywood to protect it for freight travel. So that's actually what's dropped off at your home. Sauna deliveries are by appointment. So they're not just going to end up on your doorstep like Amazon Prime. The freight company calls you. We get tracking on it that we send to you ahead of time. Freight company then calls you, the local freight terminal, to set up your delivery date and time. So you get to pick the day and time that works for you. Just a quick side note, outdoor saunas are a bit larger. So those are delivered on 2 pallets instead of 1. And again, each box will have a couple panels inside. And the saunas, as far as setup goes, so once you get the sauna delivery, I usually tell people if you can, like, open up these boxes on a garage floor or driveway or yard. Again, they kind of open up like a pizza box, and then walk the panels into your home or into the space where you're planning on setting it up. So once you get everything in, it's pretty simple. They're very well packaged. So usually takes maybe an hour or 2 to get everything out of the boxes. But once you get it into the space, it's an interlocking system. So there are no nails, no screws, no glues. It really just kind of clicks together. For the sanctuary saunas, for the indoor sanctuary saunas, we do send you the Allen wrench that is needed to tighten down the metal L brackets that keep the glass panels in place. But other than that, pretty much all you need is a basic screwdriver to put the door handle on or the lampshade inside the Premier sauna. So depending on the size of the sauna, overall, it's about 2 to 3 hour project for 2 people. Those outdoor units are a little bit more sizable. You're probably going to need a third set of strong arms, as well as those are generally in, like, I would say like the 4 to 5 hour range, just kind of depending on which size you get, as well as where you're putting it in your yard. Overall, the directions walk you right through it. I wouldn't say it's difficult. It's actually pretty simple. Most find it to be easier than expected. We do have setup videos, of course, for you to look at. It's one of those things like once you see it, you're like, oh, that looks pretty simple. I think I can manage that. But if you do want to be completely hands off, the other good news is we have an install team that covers the entire country, basically. So it's easy to get a quote from them. I sent you a link and you just plug in your information and it tells you how much it would cost for the local install team to set up for you. The other option is you could always hire a local handyman service in your area or contractors or people you know. Again, it's typically a 2 to 3 hour project for 2 people. So that is, in a nutshell, kind of the start and finish on how to set up the sauna. Also, the PDF for the manual, the sauna manual and setup guide, lives over on the Jen Hiller Lifestyle site. So feel free to bounce over there if you want to look at the step-by-step. Question number 2. I feel like I maybe addressed this in a previous episode, but it keeps coming up. So we're going to talk about it again this week. And it's, can I set up my sauna on carpet? A lot of people have questions about the flooring. And the answer is yes. You can set your sauna up on any solid level surface, actually. So carpet is no different. You kind of just treat it like you would any other piece of furniture, basically. One thing you do want to be mindful, though, with carpet is if you have a really plush, dense carpet or really thick padding underneath your carpet and you're looking at the sanctuary saunas or you purchase the sanctuary, want to be a little bit mindful. The front of that sauna is all glass. And so the front half is a little bit heavier than the back half. So if you've got a really squishy plush carpet, you want to be mindful it might sink a little bit differently into the floor, into the carpet than it does in the back. So you might need to grab some shims or just figure out how you can kind of level it up a little bit. A couple of wood shims on the front are always an easy option. But overall, the question, can I put my sauna on a carpet? Yes, you can. Any solid level surface is okay. Again, the saunas are just like any other piece of furniture. One little side note that doesn't have anything to do with carpet, but it just came to my mind and I like to mention is if you're setting this up on concrete, that is also okay. But oftentimes people tend to put a rug down underneath it. So you're not working against cold concrete as well as stepping out onto a slippery concrete floor. Plus, also, concrete can be a little bit unforgiving in the sense of that it may not be as even or level as, say, a hardwood floor or carpet. So putting a rug down just kind of levels out any imperfections as well as any kind of intentional sloping or slight sloping. So the main thing is the sauna surface is level. Okay, question number 3. This is kind of a multi-layered question. Actually, the question is very simple. It's why Clearlight Saunas over other brands. But why I say it's multi-layered is I packed a ton of information into this because, of course, just like when you're shopping anything else, especially when you're investing thousands of dollars, you want to know about the company, the reputation, the warranty, the services. But ultimately, this is a question I've been getting asked every day. I've been in this business many years, 15 years actually. And I get this question often, but it seems to be overarchingly a question right now because there's so much information online. So this is something that I wanted to talk about today. I have a very specific bullet pointed reason that kind of highlights all the details that's posted on the blog page of the Jen Heller site. So if you want to go through that list, feel free to hop on over to the blog. It's all there to kind of go through the deep dive, as well as there are some deep dive comparisons that I have written over the years on other brands, comparing Clearlight to other brands like Radiant Health, Sunlighten, Heavenly Heat. I think there's a Sun Home Sauna one over there too, but essentially it's just highlighting the differences between these brands. It's not really my style to throw another company under the bus by any stretch, but there's a lot of marketing out there. And so what I've done is kind of break down the things to look at, which are, like I said, features, heater placement, warranty, stereos, all of those things. So if you're looking for those comparisons to a certain brand, jump on over to the blog page and you'll find all of that there. So again, here's a breakdown on why I and millions of others have chosen Clearlight over the years. So Clearlight has been around for nearly 30 years. I think we're coming up on 30 years this year or next. I can't quite remember. I think it was 1996 maybe. Anyways, they've pretty much pioneered the infrared industry. They set standards for other companies for their innovation, high quality, and craftsmanship. One thing I like to point out too is Dr. Raleigh Duncan. He is kind of the brains and the creator behind it. and we'll talk a little bit about him in a few minutes as well. But the saunas are doctor designed with your wellness and healing in mind. So these aren't just boxes with heaters. These aren't just your everyday sauna. The mission and the vision of Clearlight, which is why I've aligned myself with them, is that they're creating a healing tool or creating a sauna that can help work with the body. So with that, they've also been very much involved in a ton of research and education. They're very research and education driven. So a couple of things I want to point out is they've been fortunate to be chosen for many important research projects that involve saunas for healing. They're currently being used in numerous research trials in leading universities around the world. Clearlight saunas have been clinically shown to provide similar heart health benefits as exercise, aid in weight loss, and help even combat depression. So there's a lot of interesting info out there on using infrared saunas. Also, there's a great article, I think we can add that in the show notes too, for infrared saunas being used for Parkinson's, which I know there's quite a bit of conversation on that right now. So I'll include all these articles in the show notes. One thing I also like to mention too is Clearlight has worked with Hippocrates Health Institute for many years. There are about 35, 40 saunas on their campus down in Florida and West Palm, Florida, both indoor and outdoor saunas. And so I think many people recognize the Hippocrates name. Hippocrates is pretty much known around the world for their research as well as just their campus and what they offer there. I've actually been there a couple of times myself for different events involving saunas and just other things that they do for community, but it's gorgeous. But it's also very reputable. Their reputation precedes them for a place of healing. And so they only use Clearlight saunas for a variety of reasons. But I think that when you start taking a step back at where saunas show up, Clearlight has been around for, like I said, a long time. You'll also see Clearlight saunas in most commercial centers, which gives the person peace of mind for safety and effectiveness. But it's also why I used their saunas in Generate Wellness for many years. It's because as a business owner, I wanted to be able to know that people coming in were not only going to have a great experience, but that it wasn't going to be harmful to their health. So it's very important for you listeners that are considering integrating this maybe into your business or your practice, or you know somebody who is interested in that, as well as if you're using a sauna in a commercial setting, be mindful to the brand and what it is that you're using. So that is a little bit about why Clearlight is known. It's for their clinical testing and such. Okay, manufacturing. A lot of questions around this, and for good reason. You don't want to buy some cheap, flimsy sauna that you have no idea where it's made or where the parts came from. You don't want to be sitting and wondering if it's helping you heal or creating more harm for your health. That is not ideal. Clearlight has the most advanced infrared sauna manufacturing facility in the world. It's a 400,000 square foot facility. That's literally beautiful. And I wouldn't say that just about any factory. It's one of the most sophisticated and expansive sauna facilities in the world. It's quite remarkable, actually. I remember when Raleigh showed me the videos shortly after it was built and opened, and my mind was blown, actually. I had no idea the level of sophistication that it takes to make a sauna, but just the facility itself is unbelievable. I think I might have the video. If so, we'll add it in the show notes. If not, I'll find it later and share it. But essentially, the process is they start with kiln-dried wood, and through stages of high automation machinery and hand craftsmanship, they end up with this gorgeous finished sauna. So they also, I think it's important to know, they manufacture all their infrared heaters, wiring harnesses, power supplies. All of that is done on site in the same facility. Every sauna is built to standards, runs for several hours, and then is tested with a 96-point quality controlled checklist. It is then carefully packed and shipped to you and sent to your doorstep. So that is a bit about manufacturing. Low EMF and the only sauna company shielding from ELF. This is a whole show and topic. I'm not going to go into it all today, but if you don't know the details around this topic in electromagnetic fields, please hop over to the Jen Heller site to learn more about the dangers of unsafe saunas and high levels of electric frequencies. But Clearlight, again, pretty much pioneered the industry on this and has set the bar and set the standards and has for many years. Last but not least, lifetime warranty. Your overall protection of your investment covers the full sauna for the life of the original owner. Comparing to other sauna companies where They maybe have a 10-year on their cabin and a 5-year on their electronics, or one company in particular rhymes with unlighten, 7-year on the cabin and 1 to 2 years on electronics. I'm not sure why they think their saunas are superior when they only stand behind it for 365 days. So that's not really a solid protection of your investment, in my opinion. So you always want to check the warranty. I think the warranty speaks volumes, not just about the company itself, but for the product that goes out the door. If a company's gonna put a lifetime warranty on something, you have peace of mind that it's solid going out the door, as well as gives you peace of mind for what you're buying, knowing you've got a level of service that stands behind it. So one thing I wanna note, though, is the lifetime warranty is not transferable to a new owner, meaning if you sell it on good old Facebook Marketplace or it gets left behind in a home sale, it's not transferable. So it's only good for the life of the original owner. A few other creature features I think are important, but kind of special to mention about Clearlight, or just when you're comparing saunas. Heater placement, I have other shows on this in particular that go deep dive into it, but heater placement, very important. Infrared travels in a straight line. So Clearlight heaters are focused on core body, not on the head or the airspace above the body. So always be mindful when you're shopping other saunas to take a peek at those wall heaters. Clearlight has a beautiful sound system with Nakamichi speakers and a Bluetooth syncing capabilities versus other companies that maybe have the old school car stereo CD player, AM FM radio like I had in my first car in 1996. Or some have no radio at all, which I find interesting. I know Heavenly Heat doesn't have a stereo option, which I find interesting. It doesn't necessarily matter about the features. Some people might not care about the Bluetooth syncability. That's great. My point is that when you're shopping these things, this is around the experience you want to have. So if you want to listen to your music, or you want to listen to your podcast, or you want to listen to a guided meditation, then you're going to want to buy a sauna that has the ability to play those devices and play what you want to listen. If you don't care about that and you want to sit in silence, well, that's a different game. That's a different story. Then that's not important to you. But I take phone calls all day long, and everybody's experience and goals and priorities are different. So the reason why I wrote these comparables and these comparisons live on the site is for you to look beyond the marketing and look beyond all the hype and actually think about how you want to use the sauna, why you want to use the sauna, and what you want to do inside the sauna. And then think about the different features and things that are available to you on these different brands. So again, overall, it's no secret. I love my Clearlight sauna. It changed and saved my life years ago when I was really overweight, unhappy, lethargic, heavy metal toxic with mercury and lead. I later had a stroke. As many of you know, it left me paralyzed on the left side. So I was really struggling and in a pretty bad way. I bought a sauna for my home and I've been working with Clearlight ever since. So I've been with them now for about 15 years. Obviously, I'm brand loyal, but again, I think it's important when you're shopping saunas in general that you just understand what you're buying. I should also mention too, shout out to my husband, Mark, who was also struggling when we first met. He was struggling with high blood pressure, weight issues, alcoholism. And once he started using the sauna, it completely changed his life as well. So fast forward over a decade now, minus 45 pounds, normal blood pressure. He's sober now and has been for many years. He looks and feels fantastic. And I think he looks much younger. I guess I'm not going to put an age or a number on it, but when we see old pics of him pop up on the old Facebook feed, we're always like, whoa, what a crazy difference. So anyway, whether you're looking to be proactive, improve your physical health, enhance mental clarity, working through a specific disease, or simply just want to de-stress, unwind and relax and have a sauna in your home, Clearlight basically has created a sanctuary space of relaxation and rejuvenation, and they are my favorite. So that's a wrap on the questions. Instead of a testimonial this week, I want to share a quote from Dr. Riley Duncan, who is the Clearlight Sauna creator and CEO. I just thought this was relevant for our show today. And this is something that Riley said years ago and lives on my site actually. You have a lot of choices when buying an infrared sauna. I know that the amount of information can be overwhelming. In my experience, it all comes down to intent or finding out what the actual DNA of a company is. I started this company when I saw how much good the infrared saunas could do to help people heal. I later realized how many more people I could reach with these saunas than just being in an individual practice. This is my driving force at Clearlight. I am trying to make some kind of difference in as many people's lives as possible, before I get off the spinning globe. So that's a quote from Dr. Raleigh Duncan. If you missed my fabulous conversation with Raleigh a couple months ago, please go back and check that out. It's episode 36 from February 18th. It's honestly one of my favorites. Raleigh is not only a longtime friend and mentor, he is one of the most grounding and caring individuals I know. We had a great conversation about the evolution of infrared over the last 30 years, what far infrared versus full spectrum is, how they work with the body. Plus, we actually deep dive into the burning topic everyone is asking me about lately. Should I do red light in or out of the sauna, and what are the benefits? So please tune into that full episode for more details, but the short answer is yes. It's fabulous for inside the sauna. I've had a red light in my sauna for many years and love it. There are many reasons why it can be helpful and could be a good fit for you. So something else I want to share that's been on my heart lately. So many people are stuck in what I call analysis paralysis right now, shopping saunas. And I think it's because so many people are chiming in online with their personal stories and opinions, which is great. Saunas have become really popular, but the reality is there's no right or wrong way to use these modalities. Everyone is using them for different reasons and purposes. And I'm getting so many calls and emails right now from people confused. And then they're not sure what to do, so they don't do anything. Honestly, this is every day. So here's the thing. Please don't get too caught up and hung up on these Facebook chats and these forums, or listen to an influencer tell you how you should use something. Your healing journey, your budget, your home, your age, your heat tolerance, your stress level, your health, your goals, your expectations, your desired outcome, all of it. No one is the same as somebody else. So please don't take somebody else's opinions so close to heart. Whatever you see in a reading online, that's just general information. It's truly different for everyone, and you can't compare yourself to someone else. Also, another thing I want to mention is I've been saying this to a lot of people lately is, and this is just my overarching message for just about everything, but you have to go with your gut. If someone or a company is saying something that doesn't make sense, or they're contradicting themselves, or they spend more time bashing on other companies instead of highlighting their own product or their own brand, that's a red flag, in my opinion. I mean, with anything, really. I just think that people should stay above board with stuff. There's plenty of room and abundance for all. And if you see that, you have to ask yourself, why would they do that? What is their motive for sharing this information or saying that or acting in this way? Does it feel ethical or integral? So again, go with your gut on some of this stuff. At the end of the day, call the company. And I know that there are some companies that are a little aggressive, and some of the reps that represent some of the companies can feel a bit off, but really and truly, the company should have the information you're looking for or be able to provide the supporting documents. So influencers online or people that are in online forums or sharing information, all very beneficial. Don't get me wrong. It's fabulous to have the information, but if you really want to know something about a company, you got to get close to it. You have to get to it to actually ask for the information. And if they can't provide the information, then it just becomes crafty marketing. An ethical company is going to say, yep, no problem. Here's the third party testing, or yep, no problem. Here's the information, or yep, no problem. Here's the link to that article with more information. And then you can discern for yourself. Like, no one should be out there trying to convince anybody of anything. This has been overwhelmingly concerning to me lately. So I just want to say that my door is always open to just ask questions, go over your health goals. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to give medical advice. That's not what I'm here for. But if you just want to have a conversation, I have no interest in pressuring you into buying something you don't need. I have no interest in claiming something that isn't true, or claiming the sale ends today and like the last 3 saunas are going out the door tomorrow. Like, that's not okay. And so if somebody's even suggesting that you have to act now or put you into this pressure situation, going back to going with your gut, like, go with your gut. That should tell you something. So really, at the end of the day, I'm happy to have a conversation with you to compare other brands. I'm never going to claim that Clearlight is the only great brand out there. There are others, and I'm happy to walk through that with you. So feel free to reach out anytime. I'm here for you. Okay, friends, thanks for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. I really appreciate you, and I'm always open to answer your questions and give you feedback. Please reach out to me anytime or my team. We're here for you and happy to help. Cheers. We'll see you next week. Okay, friends and fellow wellness warriors, thanks for tuning in today. If this show was helpful and inspired you, please head over to Apple or Spotify to rate, review, subscribe, and follow us, as well as share it with your friends and family. It's a fantastic way to grow the show, expand my reach, and teach others how to create a vibrant life they love. If you're ready to invest in your health and purchase a Clearlight Sauna, hop on over to jenhellerlifestyle.com and send me a note. Thanks again for tuning in. I love you. I'm grateful for you, and I thank you so much for your support. You are the reason I do this work. You are the reason I do this show. And you are the reason I get up every single day with a burning desire in my soul. Cheers to your health and happiness, my friends. We'll see you next week. This podcast is for general information purposes only and is not intended to be substituted for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you think you have a medical condition, consult your licensed physician.